Right. All right. All right. All right. All right. Woo. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay. I hope everyone is ready. I'm sorry for starting the meeting late. I was having issue with my internet. Who's ready for today's meeting? All right. What is going on, everyone? I hope you guys are excited to be part of this meeting. If you're excited to be part of this meeting, let me see you drop a message in the comment box. Let's see the people who are excited to be part of this meeting. I hope everyone can hear my voice. Please, if you can hear my voice and it's loud and clear at your end, can you please drop a message and say, yes, I can hear you, Ceasar? I'm sorry for starting the meeting late. I was having issue with my internet. I'm happy we were able to sort what's stopping the internet from working. All right. So I can see people, lots of people online today. Woo! I'm excited. All right. So okay, Fejiro Bashiru, I see your message. You can hear me. Cool. All right. Yes. All right. Michael, I see you right there. All right. So let's start, guys. I need to turn on my camera so you guys can see my face. So before I turn on my camera, I'm sure you guys are going to thank me after this meeting because I'm going to be facing one of the huge challenge that we creatives always go through. So I'm going to be teaching you guys how to solve it. All right. And I'm sure you guys are going to thank me. So if you have gift for me after this training, send me a private message. All right. Because I'm sure you guys will be tempted to dash me gifts today. All right. So I need to turn on my camera. Okay. All right. I hope everyone can see me. If you can see me, kindly drop a message and say, yes, I can see you. Yeah, I can see myself here. And I hope I'm looking okay. All right. Yeah. All right. So let's start, everyone. You can see your message popping in. All right. So Ernest, I see your message right there. All right, guys, let's start. All right. So for those of you who are new to my channel, my name is Adetunji, and I am the founder of Ceasar Graphix and Ceasar Graphix Academy. All right. I do this free training for creatives because part of my goal is to be a blessing to other creatives. All right. So today I'm going to be teaching you guys one of graphic design cheat code, how to solve design issue. And I'm also going to be teaching you tips and tricks on how to get the right, color to use, because color is one of the strategic elements that if you use it well on your project, it will convey the message. It's going to pass the right message to your audience. Now, but please, before you play with color, all right, please, you need to know your client's way of defining color, because we have different people that have different meaning to color. So you need to understand who your target audience is before you use color. There are some countries that see white as death. Some countries see white as sign of cure. Some see red as blood, while some see it as a symbol to show love and caring. So it's better you know who your right client is before you use color. Now, before I get to my slide, I want to quickly let every one of you know that, you see, graphic design is a process. All right. It's a process and not a result. I know so many creatives don't know this. And the reason why I decided to start with this is because, so many creatives are used to, as soon as they receive the contents about the project, the next thing they do is to jump to their computer and start, putting the elements together. Now, there are some designers who are very good at working this way. But if you really want to help passing the message correctly, there's a cheat code that you're supposed to use. And that cheat code is called the use of design brief. Every design project you are asked to work on, and every design project you're asked to work on, they have their manual. All right. In fact, graphic design is not different from, I know so many of you are used to buying, new mobile phones. All right. If you buy a new mobile phone, you notice that the phone always come with a manual. I know some of you don't go through the manual. Yeah. If you are one of the people that don't go through the manual of your mobile phone when you buy it, don't move. Nobody will know I'm talking about you. I'm also guilty of this. So, I don't read those manuals because it's always too much. Anyway, that's not the message here. So the message is that manual is what explains everything about the phone. So graphic design also have its own manual. So for you to generate the manual, for you to create the manual, you need a design brief because before any brand or this mobile phone brand, before they design the mobile phone, they first have a brief. They have, okay, this is what this mobile phone is going to do. This mobile phone is going to have this because we notice some brands have this on their mobile phone. So we need to add this in order to create something that is different from what people are used to. So there's a brief that first come to play before the designing of the mobile phone. So we designers always also use this brief to achieve design projects. The lack of using design brief is what always makes you spend time working on design project and not get the right message that the client is looking for. I've been designing now for 17 years, and ever since I started using design brief, I found out that the time I spend working on design projects, if I don't send this design brief to client, is different from the time I spend when I send design brief to client. In fact, I found out that most of the design that I do is the client that always initiates the picture. When we're working on design project, part of what we do is we create a picture, we create a scene. So the client most time are the ones who explain what the scene should look like. So our job as a designer is to build that picture, is to build that scene so it passes the right message to the right audience. I hope somebody get that. All right, so I'm going to go straight to my slide here now, and I'm going to share with you the questions you need to ask your client before working on any design project. And I'm going to break down everything that you need to know about doing this right that will help you whenever you have design project to work on. All right, so let's continue. So I have this slide here that I'm going to put up. Yep. All right. I hope you all can see my slide. All right. So the first thing I'm going to show you guys here is the client, which is very important. You need to know who your client is. All right. The understanding of who your client is what will help you know how to play with the layout and the elements to use. All right. So you need to have your client's name on the brief. On the brief. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to arrange this when you're sending it to your client. All right. But first, we need to know who the client is. Then the next is the background. All right. Now, there's the understanding of the brand whenever you're working on any design projects. So when a client contacts you guys, please, you need to ask them, who are they? What do they do? Your understanding what they do is what you are going to use to make your research. I said something before I, get to this slide that, graphic design is a process and not a result. The process part is what we're doing now. Is what I'm teaching you guys how to do now. You need to know who the brand is. You need to know what they sell, what they are into, how they do their designs. All right. You need to know, the things they avoid and the things they love to see on their projects. Now, it's not compulsory you ask them this. All right. What you just need from them is, okay, who are you guys? What do you guys do? What are you guys into? So they tell you all these things. Then when you now get to the part of your doing research, because after getting the brief, there's this part of doing your research. Then after the research, you now get to the conceptualization part, which is where you will now start putting together the elements to use to achieve the project. But we're not going into that today. Now, so you need to know what the brand is. Then the other question you need to ask your client is about the project. All right. There are times they tell you, okay, we have this logo design that we want to design. We already have a design, but we're looking at creating something different. So when they say they already have a design, you need to ask them why or what happened to the previous or the current design. Why do you want a new look? Now, see, guys, I'm going to advise every one of you to not watch this video once. After this meeting, please go back and watch this video again so you know how to ask your client the right question, please. So now you need to ask them, why are we having this? Why do you want to have a new look? Then they start telling you, okay, the current logo is not really looking modern. We're looking at having something modern. So when they say they want something modern, your question is, okay, what type of logos, all right, do you see as modern type of, like you see as modern logo? Then they now start calling brands that they like the look of their logo. Please, every information you get from your client is important. Every information that the client gives to you is very important. So you need to put that down. So when you're trying to create the logo for them, those brands that they like their logo, look at what make those logo similar, like what make them, we have different type of logo. All right. We have monogram, we have symbols, and so on. So try understand the group of this type of logo that this client likes. So you use that to create, the logo for them. And if it's a poster, all right, you need to ask them, okay, so what is this poster about? You see, they tell you, okay, we have this event that we do maybe, let's say every year. And this year we're trying to make it loud. We want to make people, see that, yes, this time we are doing something new. All right. And if it's a brochure, they tell you, see, we have this, brochure that we want to do, and we're trying to create something more professional. All right. So you put that down. And then the next thing you need to ask your client is, what is the goal, all right, of the project? Now, here is where they tell you what the project need to do. All right. They tell you, okay, see, we're trying to use this event to sell our products. All right. And we're looking at having something that depicts us. All right. When they say something that depicts them, you ask them, okay, when you say something that depicts you, how can you break that down? Like what are those things that depict you? They say, okay, we are friendly. We create solution. Now, all these things are what you're going to put down. All right. Now, when they say we're friendly, you should know that the type you're going to use should not be too rugged. All right. It shouldn't be too rugged. The color you're going to use should be friendly color. Should be cool colors. All right. Now, I'm going to show you guys how to get the color part today. All right. So they tell you all those things that, okay, yeah. So we want people to see us as, good people. And we're looking at having a project that shows happiness. All right. Something that shows urban and like that. So all these things that telling you are what you are going to put down. Even if it's a logo design, they tell you the same thing. Okay, we want to have something modern. I mentioned that before. We're trying to have something that shows solution. All right. So those are all the things, you're going to put down. And then the next question you now need to ask them is, who are their target audience? You hear them say, okay, our target audience is current customers and new customers. Or they tell you, okay, we have the age group that we're focusing on. We're looking at people between the age of blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. All right. So you need to put that down. Now, for the part of the target audience, all right, what I do here is, this is what normally help me with. In fact, here my focus is the type of type I'm going to use. All right, I make sure that I use type that targets the attention of the right audience. Now, if they call young people, like they say, our target audience is people between the age of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I know I'm supposed to use type that show more of that is visible and is playful. All right, I mostly use all this bubble type whenever I'm trying to create something for when I'm trying to create project for people around this age. And I make sure that my color, all right, I should use more than one color. At least I should use 3 colors on the project. In fact, 3 or 4 colors on the project. Now, when I say colors, I make sure I use colors that work together. I'm still going to show you guys how to get the right color here. And like I said, so my type is going to be playful and it's going to be visible because the target audience is people between that's 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, if it's people between the age of let's say 30 up, I know my type should look corporate. All right, it should look corporate depending on the type of project. All right, if it's a party project, my type should look corporate. I should use a sans serif type for people between people around that 30 up. All right, now, but if the client say, okay, we want something that show wealth, like something that show wealth, something that show rich, then the type of character in terms of font I'm going to use is not going to be, I'm not going to use something corporate here, right? Instead, I'll go for something modern. All right. Now, if you want to know modern type, all right, just go to Google image and then type modern. You'll see different type of modern type that you can use. So the type of typography you use, because type is also used as imagery. They are also like visuals. The type of type you use also explain what the project is about. And that's why you see most of all these fashion brands that sell expensive outfits. If you check out their type, you notice they use modern type. And the reason why they use modern type is because the goal is to display luxury. So if the project is to display luxury, let's say there's a party project and you are asked to do, the client is saying, okay, we want to make this, want you to create a more executive type of project. You should know that the type of type you're going to use should be modern. And then your color should be something around gold, because when people see gold, they know it's something that got to do with rich. All right. So is that you use gold or use gold and black? All right. You combine gold and black together, or you can also use black and white if the project is for if the party project is something that got to do with luxury. And if it's a logo design project, even if the client say we want something luxury, then you should know that your type should be modern. But if they say we want something corporate, all right, you should stick to sans serif type. All right. And if they say we want something playful, all right, like they say we want you to create something fun, something that depicts joy, something exciting, then what you're supposed to do is, even if you're going to use a sans serif type, you should try and alter the letters a bit, like, change the angle or skew the type a bit to depict that font. Graphic design is all about, tell a story. So your elements should depict what your project is, talking about. All right, so let's go straight to the next information that you need from the client. All right, so right here, we have the message and tone. So under the message and tone, all right, this is the part where you ask the client that, okay, so what type of tone, what type of sound, all right, what language do you want to you want the project to display to your target audience? All right. So I'm still going to repeat what I said previously again, which is the part of, you know, they say we want something that shows corporate, something that that depicts friendly. All right. And if it's a brochure design, you hear them say we want something that depicts professional. So when they say professional, it means you should make sure that your layout, this is very important, your layout must be balanced. Everything on your project must align correctly. No element to sit on its own. Every element should anchor to something, should hold something. Like it should align to the other element on your project. And the use of color, you need to be very careful. You don't use too many colors. All right. But if the client say, all right, the project is for, you know, the client already said the project is for young people, it's for people like 5, 6, 7, or maybe youths. All right. You should know that whatever you're going to do should depict that urban feel. All right. It should give urban feel. Now, everything your client say, every tone your client mentioned that he or she is looking at seeing on the project are things you can easily find the style on the internet. All right. I'm going to show you guys how I do this, because the tone, there's this tone that each of all these style that clients request for, they always have, the tones are easily to find on the internet. So what you just need to do is to understand what make that thing look urban, and then you apply it to the project. What makes that thing look corporate, then you apply it to the project. All right. So then the last, okay, so the next one is visuals. All right. Now, visuals is very important. All right. In fact, visuals are eye magnets. All right. They are what we creatives use to draw attention to, our project. So whenever you're working for design for clients, all right, we need to ask them that, do you have images that you don't like to see on your project? You know, there are some people that say, okay, if you're going to use a picture of a young child, all right, we want the child to have this smiley face. Or they say, we want to see black people rather than white. Or they say we want white instead of black. Or they say we want a image that depicts corporate settings. All right, this is very important. You need to ask them, because if you don't use the right image at most time, you know, clients will just go like, I'm not feeling the project. And if you ask them, why are you not feeling the project? There are times they don't know why they are not feeling the project. Most of the time, I find myself in this shoe of clients saying, I'm not feeling it. I mostly get this response after taking time to, you know, ask them question that, okay, so is there anything you notice on this project that is not okay? They mostly say the color, because color is also part of what make clients reject our design project. Or they tell you, okay, there's this visual you use that I don't like. So you need to ask them this question like, okay, what are those type of visuals you don't like? Or do you have images that you can give us to use on your project? All right, so please make sure you take note of this. And yeah, so the last part is the specific needs. So specific needs simply goes with what are those things, all right, that you don't like, all right, and what are those things you like on your project? All right, ask them what are those things you like and those things you don't like. There are times they tell you, okay, I don't like this type of color. There's this color that when I see it, that we don't like it. Or maybe individual. They say, I'm not a fan of this color. Then some will say, okay, I like it when I see blue on my project. I like to see touch of blue. All right, on my project. You know, I have this client that if you design for him and you did not use gold, he's not going to approve the design. He's a fan of gold. So you need to ask them, what are those things to avoid and those things that you think we can, you know, add to the project to make the project successful. So some of them will tell you, I don't really have any. All right. And some will say, okay, yes, I have this that I don't want you to use. There's this type of type, this font that I don't like. I'm not a fan of script fonts. There are some project that the goal is to design a wedding ivy. And some clients will say, I'm not a fan of script type. I'm not a fan of handwriting type. I like my fonts to look straight. All right. So it's better you ask them, this question. All right. Then I now have right here how you are going to send your brief out to your clients. All right. It's always good for you to send this out before you work on any design project. So I arranged the order to send this out to your client. But before I turn on my camera, I want to quickly let you guys know that one of the best way to get design brief from clients is through talking to them on the phone. All right. I enjoy receiving brief from clients than sending it to them to fill. In fact, some clients don't really enjoy filling forms. So what I'm going to advise you to do is get your notepad ready before you make the call. Write down all these things. Get used to what I share with you on the understanding of all these these questions that you send to the client, because some of them may not really understand all these questions. So you will be the one to break it down for them. You'll be the one to tell them, okay, this is what I'm trying to say here. Well, how do you want people to see you? What type of message, what type of tone do you want people to feel whenever they see your project? All right. So yeah. So I hope you guys get that. So I'm going to show you guys how to know the feel and the color to use when you're working on design project. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed what I just shared with you. All right. If you do, please, I will appreciate if you can drop a message on in the chat box. All right. If you enjoyed what I shared with you guys, please, I will appreciate if you can drop a message. All right. Oh, sorry. I wish I can call your name, but this spelling is somehow. Okay, I'll just call you Big Chicks. I see your message there. Ernest Ayube. Yeah, I see your message also. All right. So yeah, for those of you who have not subscribed, all right, I'm sure you guys enjoyed this, and please kindly hit the subscribe button if you have not. All right. And also if you have people that need to watch this or know more about this, please kindly share this with them. All right. All right. Don't be a stingy designer thing. All right. Okay. So let's continue, guys. So I said earlier that, graphic design is a process and not a result. All right. Because I'm going to keep repeating this because somebody needs to know, this. All right. So, for you to achieve a successful design project, all right, there's the part of you understanding the brief, which is what I just shared with you here now. And then there's also the part of making research. Now the research part is you going to check about the brand, their previous design, the colors they use, their target audience, what their products do. All right. Because there are some things that the client will not mention when you are asking them question. That is when you now go to check their previous project that you now notice that, okay, there's this thing that is always loud on their project. So that thing, you should also make it loud whenever you're working on their project. Like, for example, they do, maybe there's this brand that is into making of drugs. And whenever you see their designs, you see there's this part where they say it is possible. Now I'm just using this as an example. They just make it is possible loud. But on the project they ask you to work on, they have a title. that they want you to make loud. And there's still that part that says it is possible on the information they give to you. So in order for you to make life easy for them and to make them look at you like you're a professional, make that it is possible also. Make it visible. Make it something that people can see. All right. So there's this part of making research. So after making the research, there's a part of you now putting together all the things that you discovered when you make your research. And then you now go to the part where you now need to draw what the project should look like, which is where you are now going to know, okay, this is going to be the first thing I want people to see. This is my contrast. This is the visual I'm going to use. And this is where I'm going to place this visual. This is the type of layout I'm going to use because the client mentioned the project is for so and so people. This is the type of type that I believe is best for this group of people. All right. So it's very important. All right. So now I'm going to start with the color part now, and then we'll now go to the style of design. And then we're going to say bye to today's meeting. All right. So yeah, where I normally get colors, all right, for design is here. All right. I am a fan of color.adobe.com. You know, the getting of color, like I said, is one of the tricks to, you know, making your projects convey, you know, an emotion, to portray a particular emotion. Color is very important in every design. The lack of using color the right way can make a design with good layout look boring. All right. When you don't use the right color, you can make your design that is supposed to look interesting look boring. All right. Now, when I go to color.adobe, all right, I go straight to the explore. All right. I go straight to the explore part, and here I use the information I received from the client to pick the right color. Like, let's say, for example, the client say, I want a project to depict font. So I just come under my search bar here and type font, and I hit enter. So here I have colors that if I put them together on my projects, they will surely depict that font look. You know, look at this. So now this is where your creativity now needs to come in. You remember, there's also the part of knowing the age of your target audience, of the target audience, not of your target audience, of the target audience. So if the client say this project is for people between the age of 30, 40, and so on, you should know that your playing with color should be something around this. Now, if it's for fun, it should be around this. And I'll tell you guys why I'm picking this. And let's say, what color again can we use? I can use scroll down. I can use this. All right. Now I'm going to tell you guys why I'm using this. Then I can also use this color here. Now the reason I'm using these colors here is because when you're working for grown-ups, it's always good not to use too many colors for them. And that's why I decided to pick this. But if the project is for young people like kids, I'm going to use this. As you can see, if you look at the title here, you see this title here look playful. And then we have more than one color on the project. Excuse me, guys. I need to quickly turn on something here. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so yeah, then I hope you guys get the idea. So let's go straight to Google now to see how we can get what an urban project should look like. So if I go right here, now see, the fact that I use font here does not mean you can't search for any other thing. If the client say, okay, corporate, all right, I want the project to look corporate, and you try to look for the right color, all right, the right corporate colors, like colors that go with corporate. then you can now come here, do the same move again, and then pick colors that look corporate here. If the client say, okay, we want something that show modern or rich, all right, you can come here again and say rich, and then you see you get that here. So these are colors that when you put them on your project, they give that rich, look. All right, so then under Google here, I'm going to go to Google Image, and if I say I want an urban feel, like the client say I want something urban, so I can say urban type. Let's say urban type. All right. So okay, let's use font instead. Let's just say font. Okay. So if you look at right here, you see we have all this urban looking type here. But please, whenever you're making your font choice, make sure you pick something that is legible, something that is people can easily read. All right, it's very important. Use something that is visible so people can easily, see it, because it's not all font, all type that you are supposed to use on your project. All right. So if you want to search for, let's say, and see, guys, the fact that you have all this font here does not mean you should now stick to all this type of type here. This is just for you to have an idea of what a modern type should look like, what a corporate type should look like. All right. So if the client say I want something corporate, you can also come here and say corporate. All right. And boom. Okay, let's say font. I'm supposed to say corporate. Why am I getting my corporate wrong? Okay, so I can say corporate font. And look at this. These are fonts that you can use to achieve corporate project. Now you can use this for logo design. You can use this for anything corporate, brochure, and so on. So if you are designing a logo for a corporate brand, please do not heady yourself on knowing the right type to use for them. Just come right here, type corporate, and pick any corporate type that look unique and more visible to you. Then there's another thing I want to teach you guys how to do where the getting of the design is concerned. So I'm going to go to one more website here now, and I'm going to type, I'm sure so many of you already know this website. It's called Pinterest. All right. So what I do is I don't wait for clients to, I don't wait for design projects before I make use of Pinterest. I'm a fan of Pinterest. I save designs that look successful to me on Pinterest. So if I come under save here now, you're going to see lots of designs that I already have saved here. So for those of you that don't know how to save designs on Pinterest, please, you can go to, you can watch tutorials on YouTube to learn how to do this right. All right, how to achieve saving designs. So I have lots of designs here that I saved, but my goal today here is to teach you guys how to know the type of designs, all right, to do if you are trying to achieve a particular type of project. So let's say you are asked to work on a project that depicts corporate. You can just come on the search here and then say corporate. I hope I'm getting my corporate design correct, spelling correct, because I think Google had to correct me the other time. All right, so if I go here and I type corporate, all right, you see designs with simple layout. Now, see, guys, it's not every time you type corporate here that you're going to get the right results. All right, because this is not the only website where you can get design inspiration. There are times when I come here, I don't get that result I'm looking for, and that is why as creatives, you also need to understand the principle of designs to help yourself where picking the right design is concerned, because your understanding of the understanding how to understanding the principle of design, is also part of what's going to help you to know the right design. All right, now, so we have designs here, all right, that you can also pick the style and layout from. But please make sure when you're doing this, making your content visible is very important. Do not make everything too loud. There are some designs I can't pick here. I wish I can start showing you guys how to the designs I can't pick here, but time won't permit me. So just check out and look at the ones with simple background, play with the same background, and use the layout that you see on the project. There's another website that I also go to, which is Behance. Behance is another beautiful website that I get design inspiration. All right. So if I go to Behance now, I just come right here and type corporate. All right. Corporate. I hope this is making sense, guys. All right. Yeah. So if I type corporate designs here now, you're going to see lots of designs that you can just drive inspiration from. So look at this. So we have, yeah. So I'm trying to look for something that looks, so for those of you that love to design brochure, you can always come here and pick, you know, brochure design from here, and then make sure you use the same color. Make sure you use the color, not the same color. Sorry, that's a slip of tongue there. So make sure you use colors, all right, that the clients prefer, or the color that go with the style of what the client is looking for. All right. Now, lastly, guys, before I go, all right, so there is no one right way to achieve a design project. And I want every one of you to pick that. There's no one right way to achieve, you know, a design project. There are a million ways to achieve a design project. But what you need to do to achieve a design project is, to achieve a good design project, is know the problem you are asked to solve. Understand the client's need, and then use that to create the solution that the client is looking for. All right. So I am going to stop here, and I hope you guys learned something from this meeting. So if you have questions you want to ask me, you can quickly drop your question in the, you know, the comment box here. All right. So I'm waiting for your question, guys. Any question? But I hope this makes sense to you. If it does, please give this video a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll appreciate that, which is one of the ways you can support you know, what I do. Okay. Yeah. So any question, guys? I'm waiting for your questions. Okay, I'm not sure we have questions. All right. So somebody is asking that, can you guide us on combining the color palette in a project? So I won't be able to do that here. All right, but I have a course. I have a training on how you can, you know, combine color the right way. So if you want to learn how to do that, please, you can send me a private. You can send a message. You can comment on this video. All right, I'll make sure I do my best to reply you. Okay. Yeah. So yeah. All right. So guys, we need to go now, and I hope you guys had fun. If you do, please, like I said previously, give this video a thumbs up, and if you have not subscribed, kindly hit the subscribe button. And for those of you who are already my subscribers, please, I appreciate every one of you. Yeah, I appreciate every one of you for making the move, and please tell other people about what I do for you, so they also can be blessed. All right. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see every one of you again in the next one. Peace.